There you have it, Connor McDavid, the new captain of the Edmonton Oilers, the 15th in franchise history, as we've mentioned. And fittingly, we bring in the guy who is the 6th captain in Oilers franchise history, that being, of course, Kevin Lowe. Kevin, good morning, first of all. How you doing? And what can you say about Connor McDavid being the team's new captain?
Well, good morning, Tom. And what can we say? From the day we found out in April, I guess, of 2014 that we had won the lottery and knew that Connor McDavid was coming to our city and our world, our universe. It's been never a dull moment. And Connor's an amazing hockey player, but he's also an amazing young man, wise beyond his years, mature beyond his years. And, I think this is very fitting that since this is his team, that he'll be the captain of this team for many years to come.
Everything's new and everything's really young, Connor being, 19 years of age. Back when you were playing, would something like this happen? Would you see a young captain like this, or would you have to earn your stripes more so?
Well, I think you saw it with Steve Yzerman. He's from my era, although Stevie's a little younger than I am. But, he was an example of a player similar to Connor in terms of... he wasn't a loud person by any stretch, but he was obviously very loud on the ice at how he played, and a lot of class, a lot of appreciation for the game, a lot of respect, and that's what I see in Connor. He understands his place in the hockey world. He understands certainly his place with the Oilers. He's got a lot of respect for the veterans and the tradition of the game. He's already got that. He's 19 going on 29. So, no question enough. It's going to be difficult to be a younger guy. He's going to have some growing pains, but he's going to have a lot of help. And I don't suspect that this is going to put a damper on his production on the ice at all.
Is it different when the captain of a team is the best player of a team rather than a heart and soul guy? We've seen a lot of heart and soul guys when you coached. You're the GM. You had heart and soul guys that captain this squad. But when it's your most talented player, does it make a difference at all, or does it not matter?
I don't think it. What matters is the person.
Okay.
If the best player and a great person and a great leader match up, then that's the perfect scenario, which we hope we have now. That's what you had in Gretzky and Messier, the best players and just great leaders naturally, and more importantly, good people. Mm-hmm. Because players can see through someone who's not genuine, and so it's. But having said that, if you're more of a foot soldier and happen to be captain, like you've seen many of the greats throughout the years, not the greatest players, but great captains, it's because they had the respect of the dressing room.
What does wearing the C as an Edmonton Oiler come with? You did it for a couple of years. What does it mean? Is it a burden? What, you become an ambassador to the team? What's that like? Because this team and this city is it's unified and has been for 4 decades.
Well, I think people that are players, athletes that are innately leaders don't feel the burden of whether they have a C or an A on, because they naturally want to lead. They naturally want to do their part for the team to be better. Mm-hmm. I never felt any additional pressure by being an assistant or a captain. However, when you are the captain, there are pivotal times within the season where perhaps you have to say something because everybody's looking to you to say it. It's not it's not monthly. It might only be 2 or 3 times throughout the season. So really, that's the additional pressure on being the captain. But otherwise, you're just doing what you do naturally, right. and you try to sense and feel the pulse of the dressing room. You certainly interact with the coaches and try to implement what they want and be a conduit for them. And you just try to be the best possible teammate for all your teammates.
Were you a vocal guy when you were the captain, or wearing an assistant's letter or alternate?
When I was assistant behind Wayne and Mark, what I would do was I would sense when they didn't want to say something, and I would see that as not so much my time to speak, but that something needed to be said, and they would reassure me afterwards and say that was perfect.
Right.
I'm glad you said it. I wasn't up to saying it, or I wasn't ready to say it, and so as an assistant, and then when I was captain, I tried to operate in the same manner. I had great assistants with me, Craig McTavish, for one, who he would sense the same thing I did when I was an assistant for Messier and Gretzky.
You talk about the support system that you provided to Gretzky and Messier. What can you say about Milan Lucic, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Jordan Eberle going on now as alternates to Connor?
Yeah, it's like, Milan's the veteran of that group and has the most experience in the NHL. Although Jordan and Ryan, although they're young in ages, they're certainly not young professional hockey players anymore, or NHLers. So they've seen a lot. They've been through a lot. Certainly, they would know, more than anybody that they want to get out of the cycle that they've been in terms of not making the playoffs and not really playing for what everyone wants to play for, is the Stanley Cup. Milan, on the other hand, he's a guy that has experience. One of the things when he signed with the Oilers is he wanted to come in and be a leader. He was played behind great leaders in Boston, had a plethora of experiences, hockey experience that he can no doubt add to our dressing room. So it's going to be a wonderful mix.
Speaking of the team and moving forward, the veteran presence, the sneer that this team is starting to develop with guys like Lucic, Pat Maroon, Zach Kassian. When you take a look at the roster that Peter Chiarelli has put together here, what do you make of this team? I know there's optimism runs high for every team across the league this time of year, but when you look at this team, do you say, okay, now we're going to make some headway?
Well, on paper, if you read all the pundits, we're certainly a bigger and tougher team, and
right.
I really like that. That's one of the things I've been most disappointed with in recent years is the losing's one thing, but losing easily has never been my favorite thing.
Yep.
To be honest, I haven't seen much of the team this year because we've been busy with everything going around the building.
There's a lot going on,
and I've been out of town for some time. But Peter's done a wonderful job at addressing the I guess call it the problem areas in the hockey club.
Right.
And, methodically he's done that one by one. And, again, this summer, had to make some tough decisions, no doubt. And hopefully that those decisions will all, amount to a much more successful team. I know we're going to be a much better team. It's just a question of, in a tough Western Conference, how much better.
You look at the coaching staff here, Todd McClellan, Jay Woodcroft, Jim Johnson, Ian Herbers. What have you made of these guys? What are they like dealing with them behind the scenes a little bit? Because we get to see them every day as media, and they're well-spoken, they're articulate. They set the bar high for the team as they tell us every day. But what have you made of this group as they progress and try to get this team back into the playoff picture?
Well, I mean, 1 year being around, I'll start with Todd McClellan. I've been so impressed. What I like about Todd is, he has respect from everybody in the dressing room because of his successes. I'm just going to turn my phone off here.
That's for you, yeah.
This is a television faux pas.
We'll let it slide today.
Yeah. So, Todd. However, and so he has that respect because just the way he conducts himself, people know that he's been successful in his hockey coaching career. He's just an awesome person. But what I like best about him is he really allows his coaches to, he's not micromanaging his coaches. He empowers them to do their jobs. And that's just being, either being a good teammate or trying to build a good basis to relationship with their coaching staff. So I'm just getting to know the other guys, but they're all dedicated guys. They've all had 1 year together now, so it's you're not especially in Ian's case, Jay and Jimmy and Todd knew each other a little bit.
Right, they worked together forever.
They worked together, but Ian came in, so now there's all that stuff's behind them. They've had a full year, and I think they're all ready to start winning.
Okay, from the hockey side to the business/building side, we're here to open up this building today. You played in the Coliseum for years and years and years. You practiced in the old gardens. We had the farewell in April. It was a fantastic party. What can you say about this building and the process to get here, and how nice is it to actually be here and get ready to play NHL hockey here?
Undoubtedly, it's the best building in the National Hockey League, and I mean, I think
biased or unbiased,
well,
it really is a beautiful facility. I mean,
biased or unbiased, it's been a lot of years. when I think back, this has been, probably an 8-year process. Hard to believe that we're actually here today. And, we've the building's been open. We've had the ribbon cutting and had concerts in here. But let's face it, and there again, it's from a biased opinion. At this building, everybody wanted to see the Oilers play in this building.
Right.
But for me, as spectacular as everything is, I say this to people often, really we're only at 1/5 of our capacity in terms of, I shouldn't say ours, at Daryl Cates's, what his master vision is in terms of the arena district and ice district, and that'll all be done by sort of the, early 2020. And that's where you'll really see the benefits to the city and, the really bright new shiny toy that Edmonton's downtown will be.
Well, there's shovels in the ground across the street, building new towers. This facility looks like it's ready to rock for tonight. And you know what? We've been all around the league, Kevin, and it really is the creme de la creme when it comes to the NHL. Thank you for doing this. Always great to talk to you.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, we'll look forward to it tonight.
And